Yo, what is up, boys, and welcome back to another episode of the Anime Virgin Podcast. Today we're covering Squid Game, which is totally an anime. It looks so real, but it's an anime. Trust me. That's how far.
Honestly, one of the best animated series this
Best
year.
anime.
Oh yeah, best anime of the year potentially. The CGI is so good. But anyway, joining me today, we got my two friends, Evanito and Anime Recon. What up, boys?
What up?
Hello, what up?
Welcome. Evan, fuck you. I'm calling you out right now. You spoiled Squid Game for me.
Wait, whoa! How did I spoil Squid Game? What did I do?
I'm just messing with you. Although I do think it was you that I saw a tweet. I'm like, fuck you. But okay, we'll get to that.
I literally. Okay, yeah.
You tweeted about an old man, Evan.
Oh, okay. All
Well,
right.
literally like 2 episodes. I was like,
spoil it, Evan.
God damn it.
We could just blame Johnny LTA for
Yeah,
that tweet,
for real.
okay? I'm sorry.
No, but here's the thing: if nobody has watched Squid Game yet, if nobody has, do not watch the dub version ever.
Why? I watched it in dub.
Really?
Terrible.
I watched it in
The
dub.
dub is great. Yeah,
No,
dub's
it's
fine.
not.
See, I would have
What's wrong with
preferred.
the dub?
I would have preferred to watch it in the whatever, like the original language with subtitles.
Yeah.
But
They're way better.
I had a poker night with the boys, and they're like, "Yo, you gotta watch Squid Game." So we just turned it on, and like the boys are kind of normie, so I did end up watching it in the dub.
That's fair.
Aw,
Either way, I don't
I
really
love
mind like what version to watch it in, right? Like I feel like the dub was fine. You know, it was just one of those shows where like I was like, let me watch episode 1, and then like 8 hours later, I was like done with the show, and I was like, oh, I finished it all.
Yeah, no, the dub wasn't that bad for sure. Like it was a little off-putting, but at the end of the day, like I was watching it with my
Voices
friends,
specifically.
and I watched like 3 episodes in English, so it's like, why would I swap then? But anyway, just in general, did you guys enjoy Squid Game?
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's one of those shows where it kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, I've watched Alice in Borderland on Netflix, and that was a great show. That was like a good like Death Game type of show. But like Squid Game, for me, was better. And
Really?
I can't really describe why it was better. It just felt better, and maybe it's more because it had like more human connection than the Alice in Borderland did, right?
I've never watched Alice in Borderland. I need to check it out. I've watched like Kaiji the
I don't
Ultimate
know.
Gambler,
I've not seen that yet.
and I've watched.
Oh, that's also good.
Is it Alice in Wonderland? I don't know. No, I don't.
I
don't
think it's
remember.
Alice in Borderland.
No, I haven't.
Alice
No,
in
I know. I
Borderland.
haven't watched the Borderland one, but there's another one with like this girl that's like all dressed in white, and it's kind of like a death game in a prison. What's that called? Anyway,
I have
chat,
no
you'll help
idea.
us out with
I
that.
haven't watched too much live action death games, but I've watched a lot of anime death games.
Anyway, so correct me if I'm wrong, but Squid Game is a Korean like live action TV series. It recently blew up and is on Netflix.
Yeah.
And it pretty much covers the story of there's a bunch of people in Korea who are just suffering from debt. Their lives are in a terrible place. Maybe they're going to be dying, or they're in so much debt, and they're in a tough spot in life. And basically this organization, I don't even know what to call them, reach out to these people and offer them a chance to make a ton of money. Oh, Dead Man Wonderland was the anime that I was thinking of. That's kind of a death game, no?
Oh, that one.
That
is a
pretty
death
good
game. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a very good one. Yeah.
Yeah, no. So Sony reaches out to the people. They send them like a PlayStation card.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, they're like, "Hey, you want to come on our game?" And everyone's like, "Yo, if Sony's inviting me, like, of course. Like, I want a PS5." And like, you know, this is totally like canon, by the way. It's not. But yeah, no, it's great. And like, I just love that. Like, you know, so many people are like relating the triangle, square, and the circle thing to like PlayStation. It's so good.
Yo,
No, but
this is how what's it called? This is how you try to get a PS5 in this day and age. You need someone to send you a secret card. They're like, and you need to compete in the game to the death.
To the death.
But genuinely, I can. A lot of people can definitely relate to a lot of the characters, you know, suffering because a lot of people want money, you know. So just imagine if something like this existed. Would people actually go and do it and risk their lives
Obviously,
and
I wouldn't
die for
play.
millions and millions of dollars? I personally
Yeah.
wouldn't.
Obviously
I personally
not.
wouldn't.
Bro, I don't even want to win the
But
lottery.
you know, just watching the series, it just felt like I was part of these people. It just a huge connection between those characters.
Yeah, and I think that's what like differentiates it from a lot of the other deck games where
Yeah.
it's like mostly it's just people who kind of just get forced into these bad situations. With Squid Game, they have a choice.
By the
And
way,
I think
Evan,
that's what makes it.
Evan, did you like being the main character in the Photoshop edit that I did?
Yes, I did.
Squid Game, but it's the rank cap.
Recon, why did you make me the
Yeah.
fucking asshole in the end?
I don't know, man. I just seriously, I did not even think about putting you guys in like the character's place. I just randomly put you all in a random character. Like I didn't even think about it, and it actually worked.
It
All
did.
I should repose the question. If you're in like $100 million worth of debt, your rest of your life you're just gonna be in fucking debt. Would you play the game? That changes everything.
Probably not.
It does. Okay. So again, right? Like if you're in like situations like those characters were in, where it's just like, well, yeah, either way you die, right? You might as well at least try it.
I was gonna say it depends on like how dire the situation is. Like if I'm like for some reason I got sent to prison for like 25 years, it's like, and you get out with a bunch of money if you win this game. Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
But if I'm still able to live, then probably not.
If I participated in the game, I would beat the red light, green light.
You would okay, maybe red light, green light. Maybe red light, green light, bro.
I would beat it.
I feel like I would beat the bridge game. I think the bridge game would have been the easiest game to beat.
No, the glass one?
The bridge game's the hardest. Yeah. It's all RNG on which fucking jersey you grab.
Dude, you could walk on the bars in the middle, bro.
Dude, if you start walking on the... Dude, if you walk on the... Yeah, they shoot you, bro, probably. You have to walk on the glass.
Okay, probably.
The glass game is the most annoying because it's all RNG. Like, if you get, like... Not at the end of the day, you get to choose what fucking jersey you picked. But if you're in the first 10, you die. If you're in the first 10 people, you die.
Evan, unless you work at a fucking glass manufacturing company, then you would actually know which one is the
and even if you did, they fucking turned the lights off on you, bro. Like,
that is true. That is true. You know what? You're right.
Yeah, I forgot.
They probably would have shot anyone that walked in the bar. That's true.
Anyway, let's go chronologically. The first game, whatever, all these people get sent to this place. They get like fucking knocked out, like sleeping gas in a car. They wake up in this place with numbers on them. Everyone's assigned a number. Old man 001. Our main character, what was it? 456? Was the main character 456?
Yeah.
I believe, yeah.
I think he was, yeah.
So that's the first number and the last number, and people for everyone in between. And the first game, they didn't know what they were jumping into. And there's this fucking like little girl bot at like that. It's on a tree, and basically they realize they're playing a kid's game, red light, green light. But they very quickly realize that if you get caught moving on red light, you get fucking shot to death.
So I have a little thing about that, right? You know how like Netflix changes the thumbnail of the shows like periodically or whatever. The first thumbnail that they showed me of Squid Game was of the girl, and I was like, this looks like really bad CGI. Why the fuck would I watch this? And then like a few minutes later, it changed, and then like I saw like another thumbnail. I think it was the one that you have right here, and I was like, okay, that kind of looks interesting, I guess, but it looks like they're in a playground, so sure, let me give it a shot. And then it was absolutely worth it.
Evan, the whole series is literally just blowing up in social media. Everybody's talking about Squid Game.
It absolutely should. They should be. I mean, it's a great show.
It's
such
worth
a
talking
about.
Good show.
It was definitely good. I don't think it was like I wasn't overly like in love, or I didn't think it was like amazing by any means. I think we'll talk into that anyways. But it had my attention. I thought it was pretty good. But basically, what was your reaction to that first fucking scene?
I think
you mean the first guy
the red
died?
light, green light,
or the first game, bro? The first game in general. What are your thoughts?
It was pretty deadly.
Yeah. Dude,
literally, as soon as the first person, as soon as the second person died, everybody went crazy. Just getting shot left and right. It was a bloodbath, a massacre.
So that was my thing, right? I was like, okay, if like one person dies and everyone starts screaming, if they don't shoot everyone else, this is where I'm gonna stop watching. But they started shooting everyone else that moved, and I was like, "Oh shit, they're taking this seriously."
It was kind of fucked up though. Like, let's like.
It was.
I thought the people were maybe like obviously people just got killed right in front of you. But if you know that if you move, you die. Why the fuck would your first instinct be to move? It's like, oh my god, someone got shot. Let me try to run to the closed door behind me. All those people are getting shot trying to run through the closed door. Let me crawl away. Oh, okay. Obviously, it's a very traumatizing situation. I'm sure a lot of people would react like that. Don't get me wrong. But what I thought was really cool is our 001, the old man who said he was dying of the tumor right away because he didn't really care about his life at the time. That's what we thought. He just starts fucking walking with a smile on his face on green light, stops on red light. Everyone's panicking and dying all around him.
Relieving the childhood.
But it also shows that, like, maybe a little bit of foreshadowing, like the fact that he was so unaffected by the deaths around him.
By everything, yeah.
Like obviously you don't care. Maybe you don't care about your own life because you're gonna die. But the fact that younger people around you are dying and you have no remorse or sympathy, even on round one, maybe after a couple of rounds, it's like okay, we gotta look out for myself. But on round one, maybe that's a little bit of foreshadowing there.
I equated that at the time to just him being a senile old man.
Yeah.
I was like, oh well, he's not aware of anything that's happening around him right now.
I just figured he's trying to enjoy. He's like, this is fun because I'm gonna die anyway.
Yeah, but it was done so well. It was done really well.
Yeah. They really captured the old man's, expression and his personality so well in the series. Like, yeah, he doesn't give a shit about his life because he's gonna die. So why not just sign up and play the game? And if he dies, he dies. It doesn't matter in the end.
There was an established villain too in that episode with the guy or whatever, I guess the gangster guy or whatever. Like I thought like that was cool. The guy that was like it's not Yakuza. What do we call it in Korea? I don't know.
Oh, he was that guy. Yeah. That guy. I call him the Yakuza guy. I don't even know what his name was.
Well, we don't know a lot of their names anyway.
The Yakuza guy.
Because we go by their numbers. He was number 101?
I don't remember his number.
Oh, I know what his number was.
I think it was
It
101.
most likely was 101.
Bro,
yeah. But his death was hilarious.
Yeah, get fucked. That was a good death. That was a good death.
That was hilarious.
That was a good death. Anyway,
deserved.
I thought the first game was a great introduction to show how fucking cruel these games are gonna be. But it was also a little had some funny moments with the old man, and at the end of the day, it's a kids game. But after the first game, was there a reaction to leave? Did they do a vote?
Yes, they did the vote, and they told them all that they can leave, which I thought was also really interesting because it wasn't like any other death game show where it's like, no, you have to keep going.
It was a democracy.
No, you guys can leave.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, well that's kind of weird.
Well, they chose to be there. They chose to be there, and then after
that's true.
They signed a form.
They chose to be there.
They signed a form not knowing how deadly the first game would be. But after the first game, they're like, yeah, if you guys vote majority, you guys are welcome to leave. And even the great thing, my bad guys, I'm sick. Basically,
that's fine.
No worries.
The great
Get
thing.
well soon, Brigham.
The great thing to me was it was a tied vote, and the final vote was the old man. Who spoilers?
I
obviously,
really
everyone.
thought he was good.
Spoilers. This is we're talking about the entire fucking series, so we're gonna be talking about everything.
Yeah.
This is your time to leave. Anyway, the old man was kind of was either the leader or one of the leaders of the organization who runs this fucking Squid game or whatever, these deadly games. But he was playing in it, and he was the one who had the last vote, and he voted to allow people to leave, which was really interesting because you'd think he'd want to play. But I think he wanted to give everyone the chance because he knew that they would come back. This has probably happened many times before.
Yeah.
Because they go back to the outside world and they realize that they have nothing there. That's why they agreed to play here in the first place. They're back to their shitty situation. Yeah. If anything,
he sent the cards again.
While they were gone, maybe the situation got worse, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think for a few of them actually, it did get worse, and they all chose to go back, which is just really interesting. I
think some people chose not to go back. It was 176 out of the 201 or something came back.
Yeah.
And those people were allowed to stay at the outside. They weren't killed, I don't think.
They weren't. They just
they were just
left out there
allowed to live their life. Yeah,
pretty much.
It's weird that the old man wanted to leave, but it was the head of the organization. I think it's because he wanted to give them the chance to come to that conclusion, and he already knew what would happen either way.
So after the vote ended and all this stuff, and everyone was free, then the main character and the old man, met all of a sudden, and they had a conversation. And the old man was like, "Yeah, I'm thinking of probably going back into the game. I still got that brain tumor, so I just want to risk it all." So the main character was like, "Damn. Maybe I should do the same, to be honest. I have nothing left in this world. My daughter hates me. I lost my fucking wife. I'm a homeless piece of shit. So let's just go all in."
So I think what happened for our main guy is his mother ended up being diagnosed with something and needed surgery.
Her leg
exactly. I think it was a combination of the daughter leaving to the United States that he found out about, and the mother needing surgery, and the fact that he's in a shit ton of debt as well. All those factors are
he pretty much really needed the money. He had to go back.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of people go back, and the second game. What is the second game?
I believe it was Tug of War.
No.
That was
the third game.
Was it the licking?
It was the licking one.
The licking one. Yeah.
The interesting about this one is it's fucking so like it's just so much luck involved unless you somehow cheat and find out the game in advance like one of the guys did. The game was basically they walked into this playground and they're like, choose a shape. Circle, triangle, star, or fucking umbrella. It was called Honeycomb, I think.
That episode was called The Umbrella Man. I remember that.
Yeah, but before all that happened, remember, we actually got a hint of what the game was going to be. Remember that girl was crawling through the vents and she saw the pink guys, you know, mixing some sugar in. That was like a hint of what the next game will be.
Yeah, so there was a hint, and I think she tipped off one of the guys that was part of, like, they kind of formed a group, a little bit of a team, and basically our main character is like childhood friend or someone he was somewhat close to and had like some relationship with his family as well, found out a little bit about the game through like the sugar mixing that the girl saw, and he had a vision of like what the game was going to be and chose not to tell the people around him and let his close friend this is how you knew that he was a little bit of a scumbag.
That was definitely foreshadowing of him being a scumbag.
The main character chose the umbrella, the hardest piece, and his own friend didn't warn him at all.
And so for anyone wondering, basically what they had to do is they got this like honeycomb type thing and they had to use a pin to cut it out, and if they break the main shape in between, you get automatically like whatever, you get killed. You get fucking killed
on the spot.
So obviously circle and triangle is the easiest. Or definitely triangle is the easiest, and fucking umbrella is the hardest. And this guy, this fucking scumbag, or foreshadowing what the fuck's gonna go on later on in the series as well, doesn't give him the hint, right? But he big brained it. Our boy big brained it. If you guys want to talk about that,
he absolutely big brained it. Like I was sitting here the entire time. I was like, how would you cut this shape out without it like cracking or whatever? And then he like started to lick it, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. And he like flipped it over, and like melts. Yeah, exactly. I was like, that's really genius. And then everyone else around him started doing the same thing, which is really cool.
I'm sure they've done that game a few times in the past, and like everyone was like, they're like fucking licking it. Like they've never seen this before. One person cheated and used a lighter to like light the pin.
Yeah, that was pretty smart,
to heat it up. That's pretty smart.
I mean,
but
cheating's fair game if you don't get caught. You're gambling with your life.
I really do wonder how they did all that in fucking behind the scenes. Just lick him. I want to watch behind the scenes so bad, really.
How many times do you think it actually cracked in the behind the scenes? It probably cracked.
I have no idea.
There's probably so many times when they broke it. They're like, oops. They probably had so many. Between Briggs, Recon, and Evan, who would survive Squid Game?
Me?
I don't think I'd survive. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I mean, if it's only us three competing,
you would die in red light, green light, Evan.
I definitely wouldn't die in red light, green light. I'm good at red light, green light. I think I would probably die at the second game here.
I mean,
because like
I can't even say like because maybe I'm good at certain things and bad at other things. But like we don't know the games, and all these games are like they're honestly not really that skill based.
They're not. Yeah,
a lot of them are luck. Like huge
it's
luck.
not like Ultimate Gambler or Kaiji where there was like big brain moments and smart games, and even in like other things like I'm sure like Borderland and even Dead Man Wonderland where it's like your athletic ability is going to come into play here, and that did come into play in the Tug of War. But other than that, like
way later,
there was a lot of RNG.
Yeah, the Tug of War was pretty damn cool. Like everybody formed a team, get with the strongest people, but. The characters, our main characters, was I think one of the more weaker teams, and they managed.
I would say they were the weaker team because they had the old man.
I think they were. Yeah, they had the old man, a couple of girls, but they managed to win thanks to the old man.
Yeah,
his tips were amazing.
Well, so ended up like later on in the series, the doctor guy who was like doing experiments below deck and stuff and getting them like organs was getting tipped off about the games. And the whole thing about this was it's supposed to be equality, and the last person standing wins all the money, right? They've been mistreated and their entire lives and been in shitty situations that were not equal. So this was an equal chance. And by the doctor doing that and tipping people off, it was not equal. Because in one team, knowing the game was like, let's get 10 of the strongest men here since it's Tug of War. Which was very unfair to the other team that just got wrecked, right? Teams that didn't know about this in advance. But the cool thing with our main characters team is, so they ended up having, I think, 2 women and 1 old man. But on the way up, the fucking old man gives his speech. Go ahead.
Was this the episode where the old man was in the corner of the room and because he wouldn't get picked or whatever?
No, that was the
No, that was
That
not.
was the- that-
No.
that was the Marvel one.
later on.
That
Yeah.
was later on the
Gotcha,
1v1.
gotcha.
Yeah, that was the
I
Marvel
mean-
one. Yeah.
I felt so sad at that moment. I was like, no, my homie.
No, I thought he was gonna pick the math teacher. I think he was a math teacher.
I believe so, yeah.
I believe he said he was math, soccer, and running and all this stuff. So, but instead he chose the old man, which I'm thankful for.
Yep. Wait, are you talking about the Marvel one still?
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
that was
we're-
just
Dude,
selecting the team
If
for the
he,
Marvel one.
dude, if he chose the soccer guy and won, they could have both lived at the time. You know, they both ended up
That's
living
true.
anyway. But I can't speak. My sinuses are killing me. I'm so sorry. Anyway,
That's fine.
back to the tug.
Interesting thing about. Okay.
I'll just say back to the tug of war. It was really cool. On the way up, one of the guys was gonna shut down the old man. Like, hey, don't even talk. You're not gonna be able to help us here. And he was like, when I was a young boy, I used to play tug of war. And even though we were smaller and weaker, sometimes we won. And he came up with this strategy where. So go ahead.
I was gonna say this is a good moment to highlight the English dub voice acting because I think the old man's voice in English was so well done.
It was
like
well done.
I just loved it so
Yeah,
much.
that was
Like,
good, but some
Yeah.
of them were really off. I just didn't like it.
Dude, the fucking annoying chick who was meant to be annoying, her voice was very
oh,
annoying.
your voice was very.
But at the same time, she was supposed to be annoying, so I don't know if that
Yeah.
was actually a bad voice actor. Like, it was. I think she probably did a good job depicting. Like, I
Oh,
was
she
so
did a great
fucking annoyed
job.
every time she talked.
Are you talking about the one that got betrayed by the Yakuza guy?
Yeah.
Her?
yeah, her.
Don't even talk about that scene in the fucking bathroom.
Did they watch dub or sub? Me and Evan watched dub. Recon watched subbed. Normally, I would have
Yeah.
watched sub, but I watched it with 2 or 3 friends the first couple episodes, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna continue. Anyway, they're on their way up, and it was great voice acting. And he basically comes up with a strategy where he positions them like very smart, like to opposite sides, like to
Big brain.
which is actually a thing that people do in tug of war. While the other team, some of them might
Yeah.
just all be on the same side.
They were in the same
Which
side.
is a little
yeah.
like one, you have like less room to like stand with your feet and position yourself, but also like the distribution's not equal. But basically,
Bro,
they decided to like fucking like stand straight in the tug of war, put the rope under their armpit, and completely lean back with all of their body weight.
Yep.
Right.
That was awesome. Man.
Very
I'm not gonna
cool.
lie. I
So
love
not
it.
only are you going to make the other team like really tired, but when you see an opportunity, they can take advantage of it, right? And they're going to all tug at the same time. And they had like a little bit of like a fucking row going, which was cool. But if you guys want to talk,
was cool.
if you guys want to talk about like the next thing, because honestly that strategy
I-
worked,
Yeah,
but it
the next
ended
thing
up,
was awesome.
yeah,
man.
but
The next thing is something that I've done in tug of war, like
Really?
as a kid. Like, you know, when the enemy like starts pulling and like you let up and then you know they fall back, then you go back and pull. It was so smart, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh shit, they actually did that.
it was very
Like, I
cool
love
because
it so
even though
much.
the old man strategy was good and maybe tired them out, it actually
Yeah.
it wasn't enough to win it for them. And
It wasn't.
they took a couple steps forward during tug of war. The other team all falls forward because like they went from
Yep.
they fall backwards. I mean, because they have all their weight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they're all their
Yeah,
weight
but-
full pulling as hard as they can, and then out of nowhere there's no tension and they fall backwards. So I thought it was really
Yeah,
cool.
but that doesn't always happen in real life, you know. That was just really lucky that they
I
actually
mean,
managed
it
to
was
do
definitely
that.
a gamble for sure. Like,
Yeah, that was a huge gamble
But-
because that wouldn't really happen in real life most of the time.
I think it might happen sometimes just because like if you look at the way they were standing, literally they were relying like their bodies were so far back and they were like almost like 35
Yeah,
40
because they're all
degrees.
trying to like pull it.
They're
Exactly,
using all
yeah.
of their body weight, all of their strength, life or death situation.
Yeah.
They're not just
Like-
using their arms. Like some people when they play tug of war, they literally just use their arms. They were using their weight, their legs, everything.
To be honest, I think Brigo the Chad would beat both of us in tug of war, Evan.
Yeah,
Brigo versus me and you, we'd automatically lose.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised.
But
Listen, man, we could just use the old man strap.
But that guillotine then in the middle in between both teams, literally, the team that falls off the platform
Falls to
literally,
their death.
will just
Cuts
cut the
it.
rope.
Yeah.
And then they fall to their death.
So I
to their
wonder
deaths.
if the old man lost that one, what would happen? Would he have just fallen to his death? Because later, as we know in the Marvel
don't
scene, he was supposed to be shot. It pans
They
away,
didn't shoot him.
and they didn't shoot him. So I wonder if, in that scenario, if he would have just died.
Oh,
That's
actually
a
good
that's
question.
a really fucking good point.
Maybe he was prepared to die though. Like maybe he was prepared to die unless he could get away with it.
Yeah. That's so interesting.
Another interesting factor about Squid Game is the pink hooded guys. It's basically their ranks is determined by the shape on their head.
Oh,
like
that is
circle,
true.
Yeah, like circle is basically like recruit, and then comes triangle, and then the highest rank I believe is square.
Square. Yep.
Yeah, it goes like that. It's really interesting that they do this kind of a ranking system.
And then you can't talk unless you're given permission.
Exactly. Don't talk to your higher up. I love it. It's so awesome.
And we had that cop who like infiltrated looking for his brother, and then he found out that his brother like won one of these tournaments or one of these like games, and obviously at the end we find out something even further. But he like infiltrated.
He was the mastermind all along.
Yeah, one of the leaders with the mask. But anyway, go ahead.
The cop, right? The one impressive thing that everyone keeps talking about in terms of the cop is just his battery life.
Yeah.
The fact is, but to be fair though, he barely used the phone. Like he would use it for like maybe like 2 minutes and then turn it off again.
Yeah, if he actually left it off.
Well, he doesn't want to run out of battery, Evan. You know.
Yeah, no, I'm saying if he left it on, that thing would have died immediately.
What about the service on a random island?
Oh my God! True.
We don't even know if the stuff got sent because
but
the way it ended off in a cliffhanger.
It was saying that the stuff like wasn't getting sent or was struggling to send, but he was still able to make a fucking phone call. I live in Toronto and I sometimes can't make a phone call. Let alone on a fucking island. Get out of here.
Hey man, Korea has some very reliable cell phone providers.
To be honest, I kind of want to go to Korea. I want to experience the Korean culture.
You want
to experience the shit cell phone service?
Dude,
all right, next game.
We should all do a fucking Japan trip. I think that'd be so fun.
Oh no! Oh, by the way, if you guys didn't know, there's actually an online Squid game, like an online multiplayer game where you actually get to play.
Roblox one.
And no, not the Roblox one. There's actually a game where you get to play red light, green light.
I did not know that.
It's pretty cool. If you guys want to play it sometime,
I'm just saying we should all do Roblox Squid Game.
Man, fuck Roblox, man.
I have to re-download it.
Roblox, come on.
Dude, I used to play Roblox. Yo,
I played that long time.
Someone in chat said the virgin coffin to hand versus the Chad coffin to inner elbow. What did I do? What did I do, Vermilion? Which one am I this time?
Man, coffee.
Well, after Tug of War, I think was the marbles. Can we talk about that?
I believe it might have been marbles after that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was marbles, then the bridge.
Yeah, marbles, bridge.
Dude, marbles. God, those episodes for marbles were really hard because it was like at that point you find out a lot of the good people that you were rooting for have to die, and that's fucked.
Pretty much.
I love how
we get introduced to the VIPs as well. The higher VIPs.
Oh, that's true.
It was such a fucked up game because beforehand they had to choose one partner, and everyone's like, let's choose the person that I trust, maybe their friend or someone that's very strong or smart because they want to win this next game. Because they assumed, like every other game, they're going to be versing other teams or other people. But this time, it was one-on-one, head-to-head. Both people have 10 marbles. Choose the game of your choice, whatever game you want. Person with all 20 marbles wins.
It's just really screwed though, because like up until that point, whenever you chose a teammate, it's because you would go up against other teams, like you said. Yeah. But this time it's like, oh yeah, that person you chose, you have to kill him.
Yeah. Imagine the husband.
The marble game was just like top 10 anime betrayals right there.
Yo, the husband versus the wife.
The whole.
Yeah, that one.
Oh my god.
The husband versus the wife, man.
Jesus, that's brutal.
That's fucked up. Brutal. Although I will say, it kind of bothered me. It's like, bro, if you're gonna kill yourself afterwards because you won against your wife, you might as well just let your wife win.
That's true.
You're literally now you both died. Maybe it was like a religious thing.
To be honest, Brigo, he was afraid not to die, so he
was afraid not to die, but then he killed himself.
But he still killed himself, so it was pretty fucked.
Well, to be honest, if I was in his place, I would fear for my life. I would let's say if I was married right now and I'm playing with my wife, I would literally beat her ass if I could.
You say that now, until you're in love and all that, right?
I would.
Yeah.
And
I promise you, I will do it.
Don't get me wrong. What's it called? Someone says she would have. I think I would have died together. She would have done the same thing. I just think it's weird. Like, it's okay. Don't get me wrong. If you're fearing for your life, obviously, and you want to win. But then don't kill yourself after. Otherwise, you might as well have let her win, right? Unless she would have done the same thing, which is, I guess, an argument. We didn't.
He felt so bad.
I wish they covered that more, because it's a really interesting dynamic. I wonder how that went down.
I think there was one thing that bothered me in the show. I believe it might have just been maybe a script or miscommunication between the game makers and the other people, because it seemed like the I guess the contestants or whatever, they had the idea that multiple of them would have gotten out alive, right? Like right up until the end, he was telling the girl like, we're gonna get out of here together and stuff like that, but it was always intended for only one person to win.
Yeah,
pretty much,
which is so fucked.
I mean, this whole thing about, hey, we're going to get out together, it's not going to happen, man.
Well,
one way or another,
they
you're
didn't
get
know.
To the end game, you're going to have to kill yourselves.
Well, they didn't know that it was going to
kill each other.
They didn't know it was going to be last one
That's
standing. Like, they thought maybe it could have been like a 5v5 on the end. 5 people make it out, Like, imagine that Squid game, that final game could have been a 5v5. Could have been a 3v3.
I'm going to tell you guys straight up, my favorite character in the series was actually Ali, the Pakistani guy.
Oh,
that was my favorite character, and the way he went, oh my god, that killed me, man. That killed me.
I like the old man.
He was winning. He was winning in the marbles game, but then the childhood friend was like, he had to make he had to make a plan. He was like, it's all go all out or nothing. So we literally took some stones from a plant and swapped the actual marbles.
Yeah, he got outsmarted.
Just like that.
It was that betrayal.
I think the problem with Ali was he's too soft. Yeah. He's really, really soft. That's what got him.
The guy's idea was believable. Like let's. I'm surprised other people didn't do that. Let's challenge other people for the marbles. Like it would be cool if it did a 2v2 marble game. Like we'll take your marbles or you take ours type of thing, so we can both make it through. I thought people were going to do that, although maybe that was against the rules. Cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
The old man having dementia. He was faking it.
The fact that he faked, dude. When he came through at the end, he was like, "Yeah, a friend wouldn't like lie to their friend or whatever." I was like, "Holy shit! Yeah. You've been faking it the entire time. Like, what the fuck?"
That was messed up.
All these emotional roller coasters. Meanwhile, he's fucking bluffing everyone.
Dude, to be honest, it was before we found out that the old man was, the reason behind all these games. I actually felt bad, the hug.
I genuinely felt bad.
In between Ben, I felt so bad. I thought he died, but then as soon as we found out he's the reason behind all this, I was like, my mind completely changed about this guy.
There was also before it, like I said, when they were trying to choose partners or whatever, and he was just in the corner and he looked like he was like crying or whatever. Dude, I wanted to tear up so bad. I was like, oh no. It's like
Evan, I'm a tear up for you right now, Evan. I'm so sad.
It's one of those situations like if you were in that situation, would you have picked him, right? Because you just don't know what the game is. Does it require another person
absolutely would have not picked the old dude. No chance.
Exactly. It's fucked up to say, but that's just the reality of the situation.
You guys have no sympathy,
You would in a life or death situation, I would not choose the old guy. No,
probably not. I would choose the football math guy. That's the guy I would choose.
Although they didn't know the game. Also, if the old guy didn't get chosen, he would have. What's it called? He would have lived. He would have lived.
Yeah.
Pretty much. They all play. It's interesting how they all played different game. They played odds or evens, and
dude, I'm surprised no one played the game.
Guys played.
Sorry, go ahead. The Yakuza guy played what?
Well, they were playing first of all, I think odds or evens, and then they switched the game to whoever throws the marble into the hole gets the whole.
Yes.
By the way, I hate that game. I played that game as a kid. That game sucks.
Dude, no one played the game that I used to play as a kid. I used to play this game where you flick one color marble, and then you have to try to get your marble the closest to it. And then
that would they didn't play that game. Why?
I know. It's like I don't know if you guys have ever played Bocce. It's like a.
I don't think I have.
Anyway, it's a similar concept, but with marbles, where you just try to get closest to the marble. You could hit the marble and bounce it away and stuff, and then if you are the closest, and you get the other person's marbles, and you keep on playing, type of thing.
Yeah.
Honestly, maybe that's just because. But did you play the marble game, Recon, that I'm talking about?
Yes, I've played it. Yes, when I was a kid.
You know, that's it's very similar to an Italian game that I was talking about with like these big stones that people play.
Stones.
Yeah.
Stones.
It's like you got like they're like these very heavy balls. There's like one white ball that's small, you throw it, and then there's red and green team, and they're like really heavy, so you have to like roll them or throw them. You can play it on grass and stuff, and you try to get it really close to like the ball in the middle.
Bro, Italians.
Oh, so it's basically instead of the marbles, instead of the small balls, you got the big balls.
It's literally the game.
Giant boulders.
Yeah, it's literally the game that we were talking about, but with heavier,
What the heck?
heavier versions.
Yeah, it's pretty much bigger balls. Okay, we
bigger
get
balls.
It.
Big balls.
No, I think the other screwed up thing in that moment was the two girls, right? Where you know, both of them wanted each other to live because they just bonded so well, right? And you know, at the end of it, I really, even though the other girl had, like she said, nothing to live for, she had no one waiting for her and anything like that, I still wanted her to live.
Yeah.
Because she just seemed like such a cool character, even though we were only introduced to her like the episode before that or whatever. I was like, oh my god, I love her.
She was interesting, you know, probably one of the most mysterious characters that we got introduced to, and she just went out like the easiest way. She didn't even try in the game. She just dropped her marble and that's it.
I think that's why she wanted to talk to the person, because clearly the other person had like a brother and something to live for, while she had nothing to go back to. Both her parents were dead. She just got out of jail and came like right to the game.
Yeah, but still, you know, think about the money. The money could change your life. Even if you've got no one waiting for you, the money will do
like,
anything possible.
Would you be able to like accept that money knowing that someone else out there could use it more than you could?
Yeah.
Well, you could just literally share some of the money, I guess.
I don't know. I think it was interesting that he didn't use the money afterwards, because honestly, a lot of the times, people who are really, really, really rich win the lottery are usually unhappy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he was definitely unhappy, actually. I mean, I can see why he didn't want to use it. It's just dirty money.
Yeah.
Right?
And I'm not even, what I said wasn't even the case for him. I think just in general. But for him, it was like, it was dirty money. What he did to get it, and all the people that died along the way. He was definitely suffering from like depression and just post-traumatic stress and all that.
Yeah. No,
he lost his friends. He lost a childhood friend. He lost his mom. He lost a lot of people. I think he even lost. No, he was gonna go to his daughter, but of course that changed.
I mean, at that point, right? It's like the friends you made in there. For instance, like the old man, right? Losing him like probably hurt him a lot, especially. Yeah. And then, you know, finding out afterwards, oh
he's alive!
Shit, he's alive, dude. I would have been so pissed off. Which he was, obviously. He wanted to kill the old man.
Dude, so then we move on to the final game, which was, or not the final game, the second last game, which was the bridge. Yeah. Which was my least favorite game.
We missed the game, because it was technically a game, when they turned the lights off and they were killing each other.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not really a game. That's just, you know, that was just sleep time.
I guess. Yeah, I guess
that was just bedtime, but I guess it was just a tactic to lower down the players.
Yeah. It was a good one, though. That would have scared the shit out of me.
Yeah,
don't fall asleep. I'll be there to slice your throat.
I think that was another moment where the old man was like on top of the thing and he was like crying.
Yeah,
and
he betrayed them.
Oh my god, my heart, dude. Again, I didn't know. Obviously, we didn't know that the old man was the guy behind everything, and I was like, oh, this poor guy.
I actually do have some questions, because some of the pink hooded guys were revealing their faces to the contestants. And the rules state that if they know who you are, you're pretty much dead. But what I don't understand is that, like, yeah, even if one sees your face, you could just kill the contestant and just put your mask back on. So why does the guy in the pink has to die?
The other people would have seen your face too, like the other workers.
Yeah.
Like they hide their face from each other as well.
Well, I mean, I guess, yeah.
It wasn't just from the contestants, because the contestant could just be killed, right?
Yeah, pretty
it's
much.
A weird hierarchy.
Also, the VIPs are probably watching as well from above.
Yeah. I just want to know the story behind like the shapes, right? Like, why do they work for this organization? Like, what do they have on them?
I think that should have been explored more. There was a few things, like the whole cop storyline. I feel like should have been explored more. the people working
I'm
there.
just gonna
It's
take
like,
a good guess.
why were they working there?
I'm just gonna take a good guess and probably say maybe mind control, hypnotization, maybe something like that. I don't know.
Really doubt
Definitely
that.
not.
Really doubt that.
I mean, it could be, a theory. I don't know. It's just, just a guess.
Yep. But hey, that's just a theory, a film theory.
I know. Can't wait for season 2 if it'll ever happen.
I think at this rate, it's 100% gonna happen. Let's be honest.
I mean, yeah, it's literally one of the best shows on Netflix. It has.
Honestly, it'll probably fucking suck, but I think they will do another one just because of how much money this probably made. Maybe even if they didn't intend on doing it, they're gonna do it now.
Oh yeah, I've read somewhere that the director who wrote the story of Squid Game actually got rejected multiple times by I think like 10 studios.
Really?
Because it just wasn't good enough, and then he kept trying and trying and trying, and then finally a studio accepted it and they made it into a live action, and then there you go, his dream came true. So it's like amazing. It's pretty damn inspirational. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not. You just gotta keep work towards your goal, you'll get there.
I mean, there's also the fact that Netflix will just take anything, really.
That's true.
Like, holy shit. I mean, so you said the next game was the bridge, right?
Yeah, that was my least favorite game. It's just too much luck involved. Like, obviously the other ones had luck as well, but if you were first, you'd just automatically die.
Yep, pretty much.
But I do agree that, like, so they let them choose their number, but you don't know what game you're going into. So the safest is the middle. But even, like, the first, like, 10 just are going to die. Based on the amount of glass pieces, odds are first 10 die. Or, like, first 7 or 8 die for sure.
Yeah, as soon as the middle row of numbers were gone, and then the mastermind was like, okay, so this is how it's gonna work. You will play in order of the numbers.
So our main guy was gonna go first, and someone begged him, like, let me go first, let me take control of my life. And then he's just like, oh, fuck.
He fucked up.
Yeah, it wasn't like there was like 16 panels, or like 16 stages. It was like 30 or 40 of them, bro.
I think the guy who chose first actually died on the second panel, I believe, if I remember
It's like
correctly.
flipping a coin and getting heads 30 times in a row. You're fucked.
Pretty much.
Honestly, dude, the freaking glassmaker guy could have saved all of them, but he chose not to. Which is
no. If you think about it, Evan, if the glassmaker went first, they would turn off the lights at the beginning, don't you think?
Oh, that's right.
He may have gotten a couple, like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
That's it.
So literally, they turned off the lights, I think, in the last panel. In the very last one, they turned off the lights.
It was like the last 2 or 3 stages.
Yeah, the last 2 or 3, the lights went out, and then boom.
Yeah.
So if the glass guy went first, the lights would be out like at the very beginning. They would probably all die.
So, I actually was not. I was really annoyed at our whatever, like, that childhood friend for not tipping off our main character about the game, like the game with the fucking honeycomb. But honestly, at the end, when he pushed the guy, I wasn't even that annoyed because there was like 8 seconds on the clock and the guy wasn't going. It's like, if he doesn't go, all of you die. It's like, and he even said, hey, you gotta go. There's not enough time. And the guy's like hesitating and doesn't go. Like, he was
the guy that was literally sitting and praying.
Yeah, bro. Like, I wasn't even that mad that the guy fucking pushed him there. Because even with a 50-50 chance, he might have pushed him on a normal one.
I think for me at that point, I was hoping that maybe he would have like had a redemption, but no, he just went further down the rabbit hole of just being a fucking scumbag.
Can we talk about how the Yakuza guy died the most hilarious death possible?
It was one of those deaths that like I definitely knew he was gonna die. I just didn't know how. And then when the girl was the one to take him down, I was like, you know what? That's fair.
That was the best part. Honestly, that was the fucking best part.
That was probably
of that bridge. Part. I didn't even like the bridge. There was a lot of things I disliked about it. Especially the part where that main girl who I really liked, like, it's like, at least make her die in like a meaningful way. Meanwhile, she was dying because, let's blow up all these glass panels out of like for effect, for fun, for show.
And you got
stabbed with it.
Damn.
That was so fucking dumb. What a stupid way to do it. They kind of redeemed themselves with how she actually ended up dying. They did kind of redeem herself, but she was gonna die anyway, To
be honest, it would have been cool if she was actually alive for the final game of Squid Game, and then they three of them, battle it out for the victory. But nah, I felt she went down too easily, man. Yeah. Why?
I would have loved it if the show turned on its head and somehow made her win in the end. I would absolutely love that.
Dude, how did you guys feel about the Yakuza guy being like, I'm not gonna go. Like, I'm next. I'm not gonna go. Go ahead. Anyone want to fight me?
He's an asshole. He's an asshole.
So-
I probably would have fucking done that.
To be fair, like it's not a bad strat. They all just die. No one wins.
Yeah, they all. You guys all want to die? No? Well, then fucking go.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but to be honest, the Yakuza guy would die as well. So I'm pretty sure he does fear his life. You know, I'm pretty
So
sure he doesn't wanna
obviously
die.
towards the end, if no one fucking moves, but the odds are people are gonna start moving past him or try to push him off.
Exactly.
But he knows he's stronger anyway. The only way, the reason the girl got him was because she like fucking wrapped her arms around him and like clutched it.
Yep.
And then killed herself to do it. Because if she were to try to push the guy, he would win, right?
Yeah, just
Yep.
simply wrap your arms around her, lean back, and just use your weight, and bam, you both go down together.
Yeah. Honestly,
Epic death. That I'm not gonna lie.
that was a sick death. Fucking insulted his penis size and then jumps to the death. Like, it was fucking great. It was actually great.
Oh my god, legend.
Honestly, I hate that chick, but that was a funny way to go out. Or a good way to go out.
Speaking of the chick, you know, during the I believe the marble one, she didn't get chosen,
Yeah.
and she
Nope.
actually bypassed the marble game, and she
Yeah.
was literally just
Yeah.
sent back to the dorm.
It's one of those things where you would have assumed that they would have just killed her because
Yeah.
she didn't have a partner.
Yeah, I thought that she was gonna die.
It kind of makes sense though. Like, if you're playing a game at like school and everyone's picking teams and you don't get chosen, you just don't play.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but I can't. I don't know.
Like, if it's based
With how
off
they
of
treated
school games,
everyone
it's like
to
you
that
just don't
point.
play. Yes.
I don't know, but everyone how they treat everyone at that point, I just assumed they would kill
Yeah.
her.
Same. After
So
thinking
what-
about it, it does make sense.
Because the way it was, they were literally taking her.
Like, she didn't
they
choose
locked
not to
her,
play.
They locked her in the elbow, and then they just took her away. I
Yeah.
thought, like, oh, okay, she's gonna get executed. Next time, oh, she's actually in bed, relaxed.
Yeah. If you
She
look,
was
if
just
you,
relaxed the
yeah.
entire time.
If you look at all the rules, she technically didn't break any of them. She didn't lose in the game. She didn't choose not to play.
Mhm.
She didn't try to run. Like, it was kind of cool.
Yes.
And it was supposed to be
I
given a
think
fair chance.
In terms of the rules, right? At any moment, they could have all voted to leave.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
after
yeah,
game 2, when more people died, they could have voted again to leave.
At that point, they already came back once, right?
What did you
I-
guys
I-
think about the VIPs?
Probably fucked up. I called it though.
It is,
On episode
yeah.
1, I'm like, bro, there's people gambling, betting on
Oh
these
my
people.
God.
I saw all the faces. I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, they're fucking placing bets for sure.
The VIPs weren't dubbed because they all just spoke English.
Yeah.
To be honest, the VIP scene was a little bit disturbing, but hey, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a little
I mean,
bit disturbing. I didn't
That's
like
just
it.
how shows like that are, right? Like they just introduce you to these like super wealthy characters that are just disgusting.
Yeah. Let's
know.
move on. I really don't want to talk about it, Evan. Seriously.
Yeah.
No, I do not want to talk
Although-
about it.
Well,
Let's
the
move
scene with
on.
the cop in the
Let's move
VIP.
on.
You want to talk about the cop in the VIP, dude? Like in the room, like when the VIP invited him over and he was
No.
like, "Yeah, I get to work."
No.
All right.
And he's
Let's-
like,
okay.
he's like, if you could pleasure me in less than 5 minutes,
Oh my
you get to
God.
live. You didn't like that scene? You didn't like that scene where you
And
saw
then
where you
karma,
saw that
and then
6-year-old
karma.
where you saw that 6-year-old butt cheeks and then he grabbed them by the balls. You didn't like the scene?
Uh,
The weird part is he let him live.
yeah.
I would have shot him.
Yo, I'm surprised you like Squid Game. I thought you hated squids, Evan.
Evan hates
No.
squids. I fucking
Squid
eat
Game
octopus,
is a
man.
great show. Okay.
I eat octopus. I eat tentacles, bro.
Same.
I tried eating a tentacle once. It was weird.
Anyway, after the bridge game, they're all in like the main room. They had they had a dinner, they had a feast, and they were all left a knife. Specifically not left a knife, and they all knew, well,
Specifically,
fuck,
yeah.
we're gonna have to kill each other, or that's what they're trying to make us do.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
The room where they were all in originally, we're down to 3 beds because there was only 3 people. One of them, the girl, was bleeding to death. Our main character didn't want to kill anyone. And then the other guy, the childhood friend, the guy who went to, what was it, like some prestigious university, was in a shit ton of debt for financial scams.
Yeah.
Basically, the girl was bleeding out, and our main guy tried to get their attention to like help her because like that was outside of the game technically. And then the childhood guy slits her throat.
which is just so screwed up at that point.
Yeah,
honestly,
I mean,
Yeah,
she was gonna
that's
die
so
anyway. I like the fact
Yeah.
that he not like I didn't like the fact that he did it, but I like the fact that they did that in this story because her dying from bleeding out to like that shard of glass that was irrelevant was kind of annoying.
Yeah, true. I think honestly, it more so annoyed me in the end with the final game where the childhood friend just ended up killing himself.
Yeah. Which just shows like our main guy was willing after all that to not take the money.
Just to
vote
end it.
so they
He
could
was
leave,
willing
yeah.
to end it and
He-
leave. So he was
which-
like,
which
you know
I thought
just
was
kill
really
myself.
cool.
Take the money.
He was like-
take the money. Help my mom.
It's like we're on the final game and everyone is dead and I'm choosing to fucking forgo all this money. It's like, what the fuck, dude? That's crazy.
That's fucked up. So he like kills himself. Take the money. Please help my mom. That's it.
Just
He
wild.
won.
And then
No, he did.
he won. He gets out, and they played Squid Game for the last game, by the way.
Yeah,
Yep,
that was
which is
Squid
which
Game.
is just cool.
With
They
a
played
knife.
the actual Squid Game.
Squid Game with knives.
Is that actually that Squid Game? Is that an actual real life game?
I think so.
I assume it is. I don't know.
Interesting game. I'm not gonna lie.
Probably the Korean game.
Yeah. Let's see. All the others were actual games, obviously. So
Yeah.
maybe
Yes, it
it's Squid
is.
Game, a real game in Korea. Yep, it is.
It is. Okay, that's cool.
That's really cool.
I love how the guy
You
fucking
guys
helped
want to play
every...
Squid Game? You guys want to play Squid Game?
Sure.
Bro, I would be down to do a live like fucking collab where we all just play actual Squid Game,
A bunch of games, red light, green light.
I love it.
and then we shoot each other with like paintball guns or something.
That would be fun. That would be really fun.
That'd be great.
Dude, I just love how the main character fucking helped everyone but his family. He gets back, his
Yeah.
mom's dead.
So, yeah, exactly.
His
Yeah, why would
daughter,
he help his family? He
his-
lost his family.
his daughter and ex-wife are in the U.S. Like he could have still
Mm.
like went and helped them, but he chose to go back and maybe go back into the game in a season 2. Go back into the game for the next round or stop the game.
Well,
Most likely.
because he just doesn't want people to go through that,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah,
Like, he's like,
he also as soon as he went out, he adopted the girl's brother, the little brother.
Yes, he did.
He adopted her and.
So say
him.
he helped the other
Why did I say-
family, helped that girl's family.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He left
Was
a
that
bit
like
of
a
money in
legal
the
adoption,
suitcase,
though?
which
'Cause
was
he kinda
really
just-
nice of him.
he kind of just like took the kid. I don't think it was illegal.
And then a year later, he decided to change his hair to red, which looks badass.
That was
and then-
cringe. That was cringe.
I don't know.
That was so
It's
cringe.
such a cool color.
No, it looks so bad.
Those things
It
where
looks
it was
so
just
bad.
like, no, it did look awful, but he just didn't care, and I thought that was
Exactly. He just
I thought he
it
was proud of
It
look
was a
cool.
badass move.
cool. No.
That's something Ricardo would do.
And then he goes to the train station. He meets the very first guy who introduced him to like the Squid Game, you know, by the card, and then he escaped.
Yeah, because like he assumed that the games would stop after the old man, but then he saw
Nah.
that guy was still there, and
It's gonna keep
obviously the
going.
games were still going on. So
Well,
yeah,
I
that pissed
kinda
me off
knew-
too.
I kind of knew that wouldn't end because remember we saw the cop going in through a whole bunch of files that Squid Game existed like long ago. Like
It's true.
we got winners and winners, so I kind of knew that it would definitely continue.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's still screwed up though. But like, yeah, I just don't know where they would take the show, right? Like, he's obviously just trying to shut down the organization now. But how does he do that from the inside? He has to go through these games again. He
Yeah.
has to somehow survive all of this again, and obviously they're probably going to be different games, right? So
Oh, I hope
Yeah.
it's different.
I don't know. I wasn't in love with the ending. I like the fact like the reveal of the old man being alive and that thing, and then the whole bet that they placed. I like that a lot.
yeah, that was cool. The bet on humanity.
Yes, exactly.
That's
Oh
pretty dope.
yeah, I don't know if you guys saw on Twitter, but one of my tweets were blowing up when I said that, hey, you know, if Squid Game had actually an anime adaptation, it would be the greatest anime death game ever created.
I don't think so.
You guys have no idea. Just go and read the thread. Look at the amount of saltiness.
I don't think it would be the greatest because at the end of the day, I still had some issues. Like I think the games, while I understand the point was to make them kid games, could have been like smarter or more like skill based, which I think would have made it more entertaining. More thought could have went into it rather than just making them very very simple
This is all RNG.
with a lot of luck. I think that shard of glass was dumb. Some of the people's reactions were a little weird to me, but I get it. It's a traumatic and hard situation for sure. And then the ending I wasn't overly in love with as well. And I think like not covering why the people were working there and their stories, or not covering the cop story a little bit more in depth.
for
would've been
season
better.
2, Brigham.
I guess it
A
could be
lot
for
of-
season 2.
A lot of death game shows just don't explore that. It's like this whole zombie concept, right? You never really explore how zombies were created. You just know, oh, they're here now.
Yeah, that's fair. I just think in that scenario, it's like I felt like they were being maybe held hostage as well. Because of how strict the ruling was. It's like maybe they were like orphans or were also in debt or something. They could have done something. It could have been very easy just to put something.
Yeah.
As to why these people were
That is-
willingly killing people
Working
and
for this,
participating in this.
That is fair.
Yeah.
Could just be getting paid a lot of money, right?
That's true.
if they were-
I also want to know where this money came from.
Yeah.
I understand that they're like billionaires, but like still, like what the fuck?
I know there's a lot of.
come
Like,
on,
to be
and
fair,
they
they
have
had.
their own private island, and they have a bunch of fucking facilities and programs and a bunch of stuff. So
Bruh,
they have
do
a
you
lot
think-
of money.
Do you think Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, and Elon Musk are just like out here like betting on people? Bro?
Well, what is it? It's the one like the top 1% made like 80% of all the money last year, or something like that.
Yeah. To be
So it's
honest,
like if those people are investing in this game and betting on this game, it's not that impossible, right?
You know, at first I thought the same thing as you, Evan. Where were they getting all that money? And I'm like, oh, so I had this theory at first, like, what if, you know, there isn't really a winner in this game and just everybody dies just for, you know, pure entertainment, and then it just repeats and repeats and repeats, and the money stays the same. It's there. It hasn't even been touched.
Yeah, but obviously they've had winners though, right? So like,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, until I found out that, oh, okay, people have won.
yeah, that's insane. I think it's a great show.
I think
Squid Game is
overall
worth a
I
watch.
enjoyed it. I think it's worth a watch. I would recommend it for sure.
Mm.
Oh, by the way, what are your favorite death games, like anime-wise?
Ooh.
I think mine would probably be Danganronpa.
You know what? Danganronpa was actually good. I watched all seasons of Danganronpa.
Danganronpa was pretty
Hey!
good. Kaiju was pretty
That's
good.
my favorite.
What about
Actually, I probably I think I preferred Kaiju more though, for sure.
I've not even watched
Is
that.
Death
I think
Parade
it's a classic,
count?
so I haven't tried it.
is Death
Yeah,
Parade?
yeah, it does.
Oh, Death Parade for sure.
Yeah.
Number one for me.
Yeah, I believe it does count. Yeah.
Death Parade was really good.
There's also Dead Man
Even though they're-
Wonderland.
Because they
Darwin's Game.
explored actual like some deeper things, and like for example
Yeah.
that husband and wife scene with the marbles could have
Yeah.
been explored, and they just chose not to.
Mm-hmm.
And then the husband won and then killed himself. Like I don't know.
I mean,
it could have been better.
They're side characters. They're not really important.
Doesn't matter. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Check out Evan. Check out Recon. Check out Squid Game. And
hey, let's do a podcast. No. Next podcast, we'll play Squid Game.
yeah,
if you
podcast
don't have
audio
Netflix-
only Squid Game. Let's go.
if you don't have Netflix, use your friends. You know,
Yeah.
like we're all doing.
I'm
And,
pretty sure Squid Game is on YouTube. You can watch it. Probably.
Anyway, that is the end. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Space
Bye.
Cowboys, bang, yeah.